Extra, extra. Read all about it. 1950 Radio Shack catalog. Get one now, get them while they're hot. Extra, extra. Radio Shack catalog 1950.
That's right, folks. Before DX Engineering, AES, and Wally the Beer Man, there was Radio Shack. Radio Shack is, of course, gone like a bad habit, but they used to be way up there. Radio Shack is awesome. The history is really cool. And believe it or not, Radio Shack started in 1921 as an amateur radio mail order business. So I'm on the Index of Manufacturers page. And back in the day when you wanted to look for some ham radio gear, you had to know the manufacturers. Here's Helicrafters. There's also Drake. Where is it? Drake. There it is, Drake. And there also is Collins in here as well. There it is, Collins Radio. Here we have a classic Collins 51J1. This is 1950. That thing sold for $875. That was probably, I don't know, that was thousands of dollars in today's money. Here's a National NC 183. I mean, this is where you would buy your ham gear. There was no DX Engineering or any of that. I don't know what kind of dealers, maybe Burkhart's out in Watertown, South Dakota, but this is really cool stuff. Transmitters. We've got, I believe we have Johnson in here. We've got Helicrafters. Or you had Heathkit probably as well. So it's pretty amazing catalog, and there was a lot. This is 1950. It's mostly all ham radio, and it's just kind of fun to look at this. They also had plenty of books. I believe there was ham radio study guides in here from the 50s. A primer in electronics. Yeah, it was really quite the store back when there was a market for this kind of thing. Radio and TV servicing, parts, supplies, everything with that solid 1950s technology. Meters, like really good meters. You can't find these anywhere. Well, you probably can as parts. Oh, my dad had a few of these, some of these multimeters. These were very well made, hard plastic stuff. You know, he had one of these. Yep. So, yeah, this is like a blast from the past. I don't know why I started thinking about this, but you know, if I'm going to be doing a 1950s radio amateur or 1950s radio amateur handbook series, I kind of want to know the times and what kind of electronics were available. Oscilloscopes, if you had one of these, you were really rocking and rolling. And the prices are, Jesus, $550. I mean, that's probably, you're probably talking $3,000 or $4,000 by today's standards for this stuff that was new back in the 50s. But rack mounts, I mean, there was everything in here. Metal cabinets. So yeah, the ham radio guys that started this, I don't know their names offhand, but you know, I'm not going to go into it. But just a classic, great catalog here to look at. I had one of these. My dad had one of these, probably from the same era. It's kind of fun to look at this stuff because you can kind of get an idea of where my dad, K0, Mike Whiskey Bravo, and my uncle came from, W0KET, Joe, and what kind of stuff they were doing back when they were young. And, you know, this was before Alaska was a state. The Korean War was going to start, or did start, and this is what you had. TV antennas, and this is just you know, some people might think this is goofy. No, it's not. This is cool. So I think this is a good resource for just reading about this old equipment, getting the real deal here, and just pulling out a Radio Shack catalog and ordering your Collins 51J1 receiver and all this stuff that's, you know, classic stuff you can't really find anymore. Brand new from Radio Shack. Hope you enjoyed that little nostalgia look back to 1950. You know, if somebody ever creates a time machine, I can go back to the 50s and stay, I'm going, man. Guaranteed. 73 from CLG.